Hello, everyone. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. I'm Terry Angel, here with my co-host, Jean Loriot. And our special guest that's going to be blessing us today is Michele Landers. Welcome, Michele.
Thank you so much, Terry and Jean, for allowing me to be on today. We have a lot to talk about, don't we?
We sure do. And for those who may not be familiar with Michele, I just want to tell you a little bit about her. First of all, she's a dear friend of mine, and I love Michele so dearly, and I can personally attest to her skills as a numerologist. Mm-hmm. Michele is a board-certified life purpose coach and a hypnotherapist. She is a dynamic and gifted lecturer, teacher, author, and consultant on the subjects of personal empowerment, the law of attraction, and numerology, which we are here to hear about today. Michele is recognized and highly regarded as an authority in her field. Michele has appeared on numerous TV and radio programs and was a featured life coach on Fox 29's South Florida Today with Shannon Cake. Michele is a sought-after media personality and speaker who has helped thousands of clients gain more clarity and direction in their lives and discovering their own unique talents. Her books, The Tao of Numbers and The Year of Living Miraculously, are both informative and entertaining. Michele, I am so very happy to be here with you today, and I am just ready to be blessed by what you have to bring to us.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Terry and Jean. And it's pretty jam-packed, As I was doing this, I was like, oh my goodness, last year or this year, I should say, it's still 2021, but this is going to air in 2022. So we are entering a very interesting, I love that word, interesting, and I'll get into more depth about that in 2022. So we've just gone through 2 years of very, very intense planetary vibrations. Would you not agree?
Oh, yes.
And yeah, changes, and true to the number 5, which is the number we were in last year, 2021, 2, 2, and 4, and 1 is 5. That was the overriding vibration for 2021, and it was one heck of a roller coaster ride. So now we're entering a brand new vibration in 2022, which adds up to the number 6. And the numbers behind the 6, 2, 2, and 2, also have significance. And I think it's really important to note that we entered into the new century of 2000. When we entered into that, it really shifted the energy of the century, because the number 2 is primarily a female vibration, and we love the female vibration, don't we? Females want to bring peace and harmony and understanding, compassion. So, and we have witnessed more females, have we not, making their voices heard, being seen over the past 21 years, coming out with revelations that before they would never, ever reveal and speak out and speak about. So 2022 tells me that without a doubt, women will be much more visible in the news, in politics, in pretty much every segment of society. And this is a really interesting side note because, I see the world, I think people who are on a conscious spiritual path, because, we're all on a spiritual path. That's a truth. I think when you're on a conscious spiritual path, you start looking for signs and symbols all the time. So as I just mentioned about the 222 and the female vibration, I happen to watch the latest James Bond movie. I'm not a James Bond movie fan. I hope that doesn't offend anyone, because I know lots of people love James Bond. And I was a bit surprised to see in the movie that they made note of a woman who was, and I don't want to reveal what happens in the movie in case anybody wants to see it, but in the movie, there was a woman who was referred to as 007. And yeah, you got to watch the movie just for that little piece. And I went, oh my goodness, here I am talking about how women in all segments are going to be more visible, more noticeable. And could the next 007 be a woman? I don't know. Possibly. So 2022 is all about relationships. There are so many positive aspects, and I want to start with that, and I'll probably rewind to that too. There are so many positive aspects of the number 6, and number 6 is known as the cosmic parent. And if you look at the number 6, it almost looks like pregnant, you know, the bottom of it, it's like pregnant. And why that's important is because, and again, another aside, the shape of letters in numerology also tell a story. So it's not just the numerical correlation of numbers, but the shape of the numbers means something as well. So the shape of the number 6 looks like it's pregnant. So what does that mean? It represents the divine parent who watches over her children like her little ducklings, but really what she's looking over is their souls. So the 6 is concerned with responsibility, beauty, food, luxury, relationships, home and family, big this year, the arts, having balance, and health. So overall, the energy of this year will be an attempt, and I say attempt because I hope we follow through with this, an attempt to start to bring balance back to what has been so out of balance for so long, politically, socially, Mother Earth, financial institutions. We've been so out of balance and so divided that this year is saying no more. So we must put we've said this a million times and it bears repeating over and over again. We have to begin to put our differences aside, or guess what? We're going to reap the consequences of the challenges of the number 6, which will create more violence, more destruction. So there is a real sense of duty and priority this year. So we've got to change our ways, and we can expect to see adjustments being made in a lot of situations. And that's an attempt, the universe, that's our attempt to try and achieve more balance in the world. So the number 6 emphasizes harmony, healing, idealism, coming together to improve communities. And it's also a year that will demand that we be responsible in our relationships. So what does that look like? Now, it's not only our relationships, not only to others, but our relationships to ourselves. We have to take a deep dive and examine our beliefs. And I really want to be very clear about this. And maybe I'm just speaking from my personal experience and what I'm going through with the incoming vibration of the number 6, that even if you think you've cleaned up a lot of your stuff, okay, which I know is something when you're on a conscious spiritual path, that's what you want to do, right? You want to clear up your stuff. You want to always be evolving higher. So even if you think you've cleaned up a lot of that, you know, your mental and your emotional baggage, trust me, there's more. And this is a year to really look at your beliefs and what's showing up in your life that is mirroring your beliefs. Now, if it's all good, that's great. We don't need to change, right? We don't need to change what's working. So what are your relationships showing you? We need to let go of the past. We need to let go of past hurts or resentments. And for God's sakes, our need to be right, our righteous positions are killing us. And I can almost say that in a literal sense because of what's happening planetarily. It's, we're going through this period of a huge wake-up call. I don't think anybody could deny that, whether you're in the spiritual realm or not. This is a huge wake-up call. And we need to drop our expectations, not be too opinionated, stop expecting others to do what we think, they should do. So this is important not only on a global level, but on a very personal level as well. So on the other hand, as a reminder, we live in a world of yin and yang, up and down, a world of dualities. So all numbers have their gifts and their challenges. So in anyone's year, numerologically, as you know, Terry, from having, your chart done, it's pretty simple. If we follow the caution, so to speak, of what not to do in a particular year and what the number for that particular year is asking us to do or not do, if we follow the cautions of what not to do in a particular year, we reap the benefits. And the 6 benefits are harmony and idealism and love and compassion and all these wonderful uplifting energies. And if we don't, we suffer the consequences. So although the number 6 is about responsibility, 6s can also interfere where they're not wanted or needed, and that causes discord. And that we have to be mindful of where our responsibilities lie and where we need to back off. And that's, again, everything that I'm saying applies both personally and globally. And I think, I want to emphasize the global piece of this because we are being called over and over again to function in this world as one, as a unit, to understand that we're all in this together. And that's especially significant this year because partnerships and relationships are highlighted, our personal relationships, as I said, and as well as our relationships with other countries. I think that more people along the line of relationships, I think more people will be getting married. And on the other hand, divorced, because it's about relationships. And if it's working great in a 6 year, it only solidifies it, emphasizes it, brings more happiness. 6 is a number of Venus, by the way, of love and harmony. If it's not working, this 6 is going to kind of push it right out. So if you find in your relationship that it really, really isn't working and you've given it, and you and your partner have really given it everything that you can, perhaps it's time, this is a good time to move on. So more partnerships will be created as we fall in line with the 2-2-2 of the year. And, it's also all about unions. And of course, again, I'll keep repeating, it's a real strong female vibration. 2 is also about having patience and compassion. And we live in a world of instant gratification and zero patience. So we have to practice that. We have to breathe and open up to the beauty of this world, because there is a lot of beauty. And so I want to talk a little bit about the environment too in a minute. So we're going to be reevaluating just how good and just how honest our relationships are. And again, that's personally, that's globally. The number 6 represents home. So I think real estate is still going to be strong, probably more home purchases. I think that more people might be attempting to live off the grid and build their own structures. There's a lot of either fixing up things or beautifying your home, or, as I said, building. So I think that, as an aside, Lowe's and Home Depot stocks are a really good investment this year, I would say. So that's a little bit about the home part of it, but it's also reconnecting to family members. I think that people who we've disconnected from, if that relationship underneath it has a strong base, we'll be reconnecting with people from the past, and we will be, maybe solidifying more of those relationships. I definitely think there's going to be an increase or maybe even a surge of more multi-generational families living together. And I would love that idea. And I would love the idea of more communes, which might be created more out of necessity than just, oh, that's what I want to do. And as that Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young song about Woodstock goes, we are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. And how appropriate that is, because in a very, very literal sense, this year, especially because of the challenges and the rising costs of food and getting food, I know that more people are going to be planting gardens, and even in communities, like community gardens are going to be more popular. So it's, this is the theme, and it just gave me a little bit of chill when I said that, because the theme is about coming together. And the number 6 resonates, as I think I did mention it earlier, the planet Venus. So it's also about beauty and luxury. Now, interestingly, luxury items, for whatever reason, and gems or luxury items are going to be more in demand, whether that's art, jewelry, quality items, beauty in the home, wanting beauty around you, beautifying your home inside and out, your environment. And again, home gardens, beautifying structures. So we might see older structures or older establishments, restructuring of older establishments. And as far as restructuring goes, we can't forget about the fact that I do believe, and I think many other psychics, and I'm sure you feel this way too, Terry, we're due for a major restructuring of our political and economic system. We are so overdue for a major overhaul in so many areas. And this year for sure, that's going to gain a lot of momentum. And I'll go into when I think some of that's going to happen. So the 6, it's also about health. So we've already experienced that there will be what we've experienced about health. And we realize that we're going to continue there's going to be a big emphasis on health, and not only the old paradigm, which is you're sick, let's fix you, but it's more about improving our bodies, right? Making them healthy to prevent disease and not wait until we're sick to fix it. So the health system is due for an overhaul, and the health of our bodies. As I said, more emphasis on staying healthy, preventative medicine, and not just fixing us when we get sick. So along those lines, the 6 is also about service. So counseling, coaching services, any of the services that help people, that support people, that is definitely going to be on the rise. Now, in each of our lives, along with this energy and along with the energy of service, we might see that there are things that we might have to sacrifice. And that's really okay, because it's for the betterment of our individual lives and the planet itself. one of the other things I always like to do is I like to pull in other predictive modalities. So one of the things I also pulled was, oh, and I didn't bring it, but it's okay. It's in the other room. In the tarot, the number 6 of the 6 card in the tarot is the Lovers. And how appropriate is that? And that's just another aspect of the 6 that echoes the numerological aspects, because the 6 on the Lovers cards are also about decisions, about choices. Who do you want to be? Are you who you want to be? What do you want? What don't you want anymore in your life? And again, this is personally and globally. So the Lovers card can also mean facing a moral dilemma. And how appropriate is that in this world these days? So I don't have any doubt that our morals, our values are being tested, and we are being asked, we are being demanded to answer a higher calling. So I think, well, I'm going to go back to that in a minute. Let me talk about something that is also really important this year. I know that every year, most of us have our intentions and what we want to create in the world. Well, guess what? 6 is very, very magnetic. Okay. So a really important aspect of this year is the call to us to dream big. And I mean, dream big. I mean, let go of your idea of what you can have and what you can't have. Yeah, I'm going to dream big, but not that big. No, 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 no. Dream bigger than you ever have before. And then put some serious effort towards realizing your big goals and your dreams. Because 6, again, is very, very magnetic. And you'll find that whatever you focus on more than ever, and this has to do with something else I'm going to mention galactically, it's more than ever, you'll find that whatever you focus on this year can be magnetized easier. So make sure, of course, you focus on the positive. And, you know, we're truly, truly, truly one world, and we're getting closer and closer and closer to realizing that one world mindset by more and more people. But again, this is really an important aspect. Dream big this year. Go after it. Don't feel like there's any limitations. The universe is on your side. The universe is going to reveal to you how magical you are, and how, I guess we're going into a 4th and 5th dimension. And we have this ability to co-create our reality. And this is one of the years that is saying to you, yeah, you can, and do it, because we're really all here behind you, pushing you in that direction. So let's talk a little bit about the astrological aspects. Now, I'm not an astrologer, and I do pick from a few astrologers information that I really wanted to share and who I will give credit to. So Pam Gregory is an astrologer, along with Maya White, who I love. And Pam Gregory, she said that in 2022, it is an action-packed year. Uranus, which is the planet of upheavals and surprises, she says Uranus is going to have an upper hand and bring revelations to revolutions. Uranus is tied to the truth. So we will likely experience, with all this love going on around too, we're also going to be experiencing, unfortunately, riots, protests, but some protests will be very, very peaceful, some not so peaceful. And then she talks about Taurus in the North Node, which is about economy, currency, loans, mortgages, the earth, nature, defaults, taxes, debts. And the South Node in Scorpio, which is falling away, excuse me, talks about secrets, sex, the rich and powerful, powerful poisons and toxins, and perhaps another secret coming out about all that. So that's not surprising to me at all, because a lot of this stuff is coming all up to the surface to be revealed. Now, we're starting that. It has started for a while, but it's really going to be emphasized this year and going into next year. And here is some really big news. Pam Gregory said that the United States is experiencing a Pluto return from 2022 to 2024. So what does that mean? Well, it means that whatever your Pluto return means, that Pluto returns to the position of your birth. And that happens to everyone every, I forgot how many, 27 years or something. You know, I may be wrong about that. So let me just move forward with that. I do know that it's the Pluto return. Pluto is returning to the position that it was back in July of 1776. It's going to be revisited. So what does that mean? Well, from another astrological source, the country will have to reckon with some very intense themes. You know, what did we build this country on? What was the original intentions that we built this country on? So any of this dark or power hungry underbelly of authority and societal structures are going to be forced into the light. And it's very possible and probable that something new, entirely new, will be reborn. So we can probably expect acts of, some acts of terrorism, excuse me, cyber terrorism. It's not necessarily like an all-out war. Even the possibility of a perceived act of foreign terrorism, which actually is orchestrated from within the United States. So we have to be very conscious of that. So falling in Capricorn, the Pluto return, it points to explosive scandals, as I kind of mentioned or alluded to, and fall from grace from prominent, people in prominence. Hidden corruptions will be exposed, and all that's really good. Okay. So we can also expect attention on environmental challenges and land and agriculture, and talks of and revelations about, toxins and poisons and pollution in our foods, which to me also maybe validates what I was seeing, that we're all going to want to maybe create our own food sources as much as we can with gardens. So there might be oil spills or problems with nuclear fuel. So a big part of this Pluto return is about demolishing structures, ideas, beliefs, and traditions that have negated and dishonored the divine feminine. So it's really power packed. And here's even more startling news. Well, at least to me, it is. Maybe not to anybody else, but Mars is right on the great attractor. And I think it's 14 degrees of Sagittarius. So what does that mean? So if you're wondering what is the great attractor, and I would encourage anybody who is listening to this to please look that up. Apparently, the great attractor is this massive gravitational anomaly. It's 150 million light years away, and it is pulling all these galaxies, including ours, towards it. It's like a giant vacuum cleaner. It can warp time, it can warp space. And what's the good news about it? It makes us more available to receive downloads from higher consciousness. And I think that's fabulous. I mean, we're going to be, it's like the veil is lifting. It's lifting more and more and more. And we're stepping into this other dimension, which is supporting us and uplifting us as long as we don't fall into the challenges of the number 6 and we let go of negative beliefs, ideas, and then, as I said, righteous feelings, that I'm right and you're wrong. This division has got to stop. So that's kind of an overview, and it's really more of the tip of the iceberg on the world, but about the United States, which is interesting because I touched on that with the Pluto return, but the United States now is going to be in an 8 year in 2022. So if you know anything about numerology and a number 8 is about power, money, balance, understanding the relationship and the proper use of money and how it can coexist with spirituality. Right now, money is our medium of exchange. I mean, for the most part, and that's going to shift. That's shifting our medium of exchange. And I don't know a lot about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but something is happening. And I think as I said, we're due for kind of an overhaul of so many systems. So the 8 also resonates to transformation, endings and beginnings. It also has to do with trusts and funds and bankings and investments. It's a house of karma. So what we've sown in the past 8 years or past 7 years for the United States is going to show up this year. Now, that's not just the negative things that we've done. It's also whatever is positive, and that's going to show up too. But it also speaks to, and it's funny how this all aligns. It's about secrets and things that are hidden and those coming to the surface. So right now, we're in a particular numerological transit that will change in July, the time of the birth of the United States. So that is in conjunction with the personal year. Now, how it shifts into another numerological cycle will be around July, and that is really intense focus on our relationships personally and our relationships with other countries. There could be a lot of power struggles, and I think mid-year, that's when we're going to see a lot of this stuff bubbling up, power struggles. It's a marriage type vibration. So on one side, it could be forging new positive relationships with other countries, but it also and healthier, but it also can dissolve those that are not working. So there could be, a conflict there. Let me see. I think that kind of sums it up. Let me see what else I have. I have some other notes here. So I would suggest that we get really, really serious about our intentions and that we do them every single day. not just, well, I think it's Wednesday. Oh, I think I'll do some intention state. No. Let's do them all the time, especially around the time of the new moon. And the full moon is when you want to release, and the new moon is when you want to bring in your new intentions. So even though the 5-year was a roller coaster year, I would say in a different way, fasten your seatbelts, because this is going to be a power-packed year. But if we, as always, keep ourselves light, let go of resentments, let's let go of anger, let go of the feeling, again, I do want to keep emphasizing that, of this division of I'm right and you're wrong. And, the horrible things that people have said to one another, and politically how we've been divided, it's got to end. It just has to end if we want to survive. So there are many beautiful things. It's a number of beauty and bringing beauty into your life and enhancing your life and attracting to you those things that you really, really want. It's about loving others, loving ourselves. And if we can do those things, so many wonderful changes will occur. And you know what? I honestly believe that there's so many people on board with this thinking that it is definitely shifting, and we feel it. And whenever I say that too, I don't know about you, but I get like this little chill because I know that it's happening. So that kind of encapsulates the energy for the number 6 year that 2022 is presenting to us. So women, get out there and make your voice heard. Let's worship the Divine Mother, honor her, worship her, and bring all that female energy to this planet, which it so desperately needs. And more women are going to be in political office as well. There's going to be, a definite direction. That's where it's going with women. I think that's it. And I think at another time, I'll talk about the aspects for January. I don't know if we want to do that, tag that on now, or just do it at another time.
Oh, Michele. Wow, that was power packed.
I know.
I'm hearing for us to leave this as it is for this new year coming up, so we can all really get into the message and the energy of it. And how exciting, bringing in the divine feminine. I just love your message to us. I had been thinking about next year, and that it is 22, which is a master number. Yes. And I knew it was going to be power packed, but wow, your whole explanation of the things that are coming forth just really touched me. How about you, Jean?
Oh, me too. Everything you said, we've been seeing the foreshadowing of that. If we had been looking at what's going on in the world, we're seeing that foreshadowing of every single thing you said. I know this is silly, but I'm going to pick one very, very in little thing from what you said. You were talking about the health. And I don't know if anybody has noticed, but in our health plans now, they are focusing more on our staying healthy. They're paying for gyms. They're paying for good food. They're paying, they are focusing, they're leaning towards that rather than just fixing you after you're broken. They're focusing on keeping us healthy. So even that little aspect is foreshadowed. So I think everything you said is so true, so true.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, Jean. That is really a good point, which I had forgot about. That's so true. Insurances are paying for more alternative modalities and different things. So thank you. That is really an important point. Very important. Thank you for that. Yeah. But do you guys have any questions?
Oh, I'm just excited.
Okay.
I think the changes that are going to come forth have been evolving. We've all known that things can't stay the way they are. We can't keep living in fear. And so I think this coming year is a breaking out of that modality of fear that has been so prevalent in the world. And I'm encouraged by your message, and I'm encouraged by that number 6. I loved how you shared with us that image of it as something pregnant. And to me, when I think of a pregnancy, it's a birthing out into the world of something. And I see it as birthing hope and birthing joy and more peace in our world. And you know, that's my main focus, is on peace. So I'm really excited about what this year will bring forth for us. And thank you.
Well, you're so welcome. And I'm excited about it too. And here's another little tidbit which has really maybe nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but maybe it does. James Cameron is releasing Avatar 2 in 2022. Did you know that? Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that, because that was such a inspirational movie, Avatar, and it certainly left an impression on me, and I think it did on a lot of other people. So along with all of these changes and galactic energy that we are under the influence of, I think it's a perfect time for Avatar 2 to come out. And we're going to be seeing more and more movies about that. And also, I think you've probably both noticed that the government has been dropping little hints about, UFOs. And 3 or 4 months later, UFOs. Nobody's committing to anything more than sightings, but it's been more prevalent than ever before. So it's just, it's just a matter of time before they come forward with, there's been contact. We just didn't want to tell you right away.
Right.
They're just doing it.
I think that's part of the shift, Michele, that we're going to be more aware of where our help is coming from spiritually, and the guidance. And I think I heard somebody the other day call it the year of the angels for 2022. And that really piqued my attention. I'm like, oh yes, I can get on board with that. And I think there's going to be more awareness of the angels and our divine guidance in this coming year, especially with Divine Mother overseeing this year with the Divine Feminine.
We only have to put a little bit of effort into opening our minds. And, sometimes people say, well, what do you mean? How do I open my mind? Well, the best way to open up your mind is to clean up and clear up any of the negative thoughts and energy that the thoughts and negative energies that you're thinking about. That's the way to clear up and connect. What I say so often is, imagine your pipeline to the divine is like an artery. And if an artery gets full of plaque, the blood cannot flow through. So if your connection to the divine is, packed with, they should have done this, and why did they do this, and I'm so angry. If you're full of that, you're not going to receive clearly the downloads, because the universe is always knocking on your door. Excuse me, I have something to tell you. You want to take this in. Sometimes we get hit by, the universal 2x4 if it's that important for us to pay attention to. But I do think that opening your mind means clearing up any of the negative energy or ideas or beliefs that you have. And that's why, for me personally, I've been re-examining the beliefs that I have, and the ones that I think have been, well, those are okay. I'm saying, well, wait a minute, maybe we should take another look. Because when you're on a conscious spiritual path, I think sometimes we have the opinion that, oh, been there, done that. I know what that's all about. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you need to take a second look at that, and how it, because how many things change in our lives. We see something one way, maybe 15 years ago, and then 15 years later you go, I don't feel like that anymore. No, I feel differently. Even with foods you never liked before, your taste buds change. So I encourage all the conscious light workers to really pay attention to your beliefs and how you can shift them. And, we need to love one another. I don't think that's Pollyanna-ish or childish. I think the only thing that heals is love. And Venus is love. 6 is love. Let's love. So, gosh, thank you so much, guys, for listening to this and allowing me to share this information. And I hope everyone has a positive takeaway from this. And of course, if anybody wants to know about their numerology chart for 2022, which I think is really important for all of us, I'm happy, contact me for that. That'd be great. But overall, we can really pull it together this year. And I think we are. Do you agree?
I so agree. So exciting. And Michele, I think that was the perfect wrap up. When I heard you say those words, that love is the energy that heals, I got that message from Kuan Yin, who is the goddess of compassion. And she told me that years ago. And I always quote that whenever I'm talking about healing, because it is the love that starts the healing process and that brings it to fruition. Thank you so much for all of this today. And I know we're going to have your information in the written part of this broadcast, but please just share how somebody can reach out to you if they do want a numerology chart or more information about what you spoke about today.
Oh, okay. I'd be really happy to, because numerology charts are really, really so beneficial in helping you navigate through the year, because everybody's number is a little bit different. And even if you have the same number as someone else, there are other aspects from your name and your birth date that will change. Like if you're in a 6 year and you're in a 6 year and I'm in a 6 year, based on our name, that changes because letters have numerical values. That changes how it's going to play out. So I do have a special right now. And if you go to my website, michelelanders.com, and you subscribe, you'll get 2 free numerological pieces of information. And also you will see that I'm offering a special. So if you go sign up, and you'll see what the special is on there, and then you can contact me. The special that's on these pieces of information, and I'm not trying to be vague, but I think it's a little bit about your personal year, but it could be about your life path. I'm not sure what that free special is in there. I mean, the free download. But if you go to my site and try to order a chart, it's going to be more money. But if you sign up for my newsletter, you'll get these 2 pieces of numerological information, and then there's the special on there. So I would suggest that people do that. It's so, so very helpful. And I noticed that more and more people are coming to me for it. I just had a woman from another country. She ordered 6 charts for her family for for the
What
year.
a wonderful gift.
Yes.
I think it's a great gift to give people, especially the baby destiny charts. Oh my God, that's my heart. Terry knows that.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. And Michele, I can personally attest those newsletters that you send out are so packed full of good stuff. So
Thank you.
please, I encourage everybody that's listening, if you haven't already, go to michellanders.com. And Michele, there's only one L in your name, correct?
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
michellanders.com and sign up for that newsletter. I get it in my email, and I'm not a big email fanatic, but I do look forward to your newsletters and all of the enlightenment that you give us. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. And I have to thank both of you for being part of this today, because your energy is supportive and so loving, and it feels so good. So I like to be around good energy. So I appreciate that. And Lord knows I love EWN and Ruth Anderson and what you guys are all doing to uplift this planet. So God bless you all, really, really. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Michele. Thank you, Jean, for being with me today as co-host.
Welcome.
You're a wonderful co-host.
Well, I'm sorry I kept going in and out.
It's technology.
Technology.
Yeah.
One of our challenges. Michele,
Oh gosh.
Michele,
you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Certainly
Thank
are.
you.
And to everyone watching, we really appreciate your support of Enlightened World Network. We try to bring you positive, uplifting energy every day. And this has been amazing to spend time with Michele Landers today. I encourage you all to check her out if you haven't interacted with her before. Just please let her know that you saw this, and just send her a message. And if you have any questions for her from what was explained today, just send those questions to her. And we will be looking forward to the January forecast as well, the numerology report, when that's ready for us to broadcast and let everybody know what to expect for that month.
I will definitely. We'll talk about that as well. And I, also should mention that since I'm a board certified life coach and hypnotherapist, if anybody just wants to chat with me, I offer a free 15-minute consult. And again, if you went to my website, you could, just get on the calendar for a free consult. I'm happy to do that.
Beautiful.
And yes, we're going to talk about January too at another time.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to leave everybody at this time, and just, as I like to say, stay in your heart and stay blessed. And we will see you later. Thanks again, ladies. I love you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Namaste.